Alright everybody, welcome to our next tutorial. We are going to be looking in this section of videos about Google Sites. We're going to be looking through it and we're going to see how to build a successful and beautiful and well-designed website with multiple pages, all the bells and whistles, everything attached onto here. So the first thing that we want to look at though is just getting things up and running. You know, how to get to Google Sites, how to create your first Google site, and just maybe add a tiny bit of content and then look at the idea of sharing it with somebody as well, just so everybody has an idea of what this is and how it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to sites.google.com, and that is going to bring us to our blank section for sites. As you can see, I don't have any sites created yet, but we can kind of gather some information from here right now. At the top, looks like we have some options for templates or starting a new site, so we're definitely going to need to do that. And then down here in the bottom, just like all of the other Google products, Google Docs, Google Slides, Sheets, all those different things, they're going to show up in the bottom here once we create them. So first off, let's just kind of look at some of these templates. I wouldn't recommend starting with a template first. I would recommend just seeing what the environment looks like. Then maybe we can go back and build from one of these sites. If we click on Template Gallery, we can see all the different ones that exist and all the different types of sites you can create. So a personal one, you can make a portfolio. Maybe you're an up-and-coming photographer, an artist. Even if you just want to make a portfolio for yourself so people can see who you are, this is definitely one of the best ways to set up one of those. For work items, you can make an event website, a help center, any sort of project that you're working on, and even a team, like a group of resources for a group of individuals. Small businesses, they gave you some examples of some different types of specific templates. So you can say like, well, maybe I'm not a dog walker, but I do a service that is similar to that. Let's see what they put in. Let's see how it comes out. Same thing for holiday parties, photo portfolios, restaurants, salons. And even on the education aspect, for teachers or students or anybody involved in education, there's one where you can make one for an entire class, you can make a club website, and you can even make a student portfolio. So for those students who want to create a portfolio or a group of items that best represent their learning, their progress, their journey, all those different things, you can set up one of these and it'll do a lot of the design work for you. But I'm more interested in making this blank one because we want to start from nothing and see what we can build onto it. Then, when we revisit templates, if we choose, we can kind of hit the ground running and do some great stuff with it. So I'm going to click on blank, and it's going to bring me to a brand new page. And wait for it. Google's setting up all the information required for this. Websites can contain a lot of information sometimes. And yeah, you just want to make sure that you give Google enough time to piece it all together. All right, got a little alert at the bottom saying we can try a template. No thanks, not today. Maybe another time. Up at the top here, we can change the site. This is going to be Brian's first website. And I'll press enter. Oh, check that out. Up here, it even put a little tag at the top for it. And when we notice, we move the mouse around, we get some features and some things that we can set up and play around with. So that's pretty cool. And again, we're not doing anything super fancy in this first video. We're just trying to get our stuff up and running, and we're going to add one or two extra things onto here. In tutorial 2, we're going to look over all these different things on the right-hand side. And in tutorial 3, we're going to be looking at making multiple pages and connecting things together, because most websites have multiple pages as well. But again, let's see. We have our page title. Oh, look at that at the top. We have all these different opportunities and things that we can pretty much, change or adjust. So we can change what type of text that we want. I'm going to leave it as a title. We have the font style. Let's change that. Why not? And instead of your page title, this is going to be welcome and a smiley face because I like smiley faces. We can change the size of our font if we want. We can bold it if we want. We can do a lot of different things to really make our website pop and change. We can even change the text color here. So why don't I make this orange? All right, that's got a little bit of a pop to it. And we can do a lot more with things like alignment. So we can make it align to the left, to the middle, to the right, and we can even do even spacing, which is something that we'll not really dive into too much, but it's there. If we don't like it, we can trash it, and let's see what else. We can play around with some other different types of styling as well. So it looks kind of like the tools that we would see in Google Docs if we were to edit text. That's pretty cool. All right, we have some options to change the image and even change the header type. Let's take a look. Change the image. Let's select an image and let's go. Oh, cool. They gave us a bunch of different gallery items that we can choose. You know what? I'm going to choose something weird because I want this website to look interesting and have some character. All right, we can change the image. Let's see what header type does. Okay, so this looks like it breaks it down into separate styles of displaying. Well, we might as well click and try them. Cover. Oh, wow, that makes it a giant photo. That's pretty cool. Large banner. We can have a massive banner at the top. Small banner is what we had before. And title only goes to that minimalist design there. I'm going to stick with banner. I think that looks nice. All right, down here, we can look at Readability Adjustment. So that'll adjust the photo. Looks like it darkens it, so our words pop out a little bit more. And we also have Anchor Image, which we can decide on how it kind of aligns on here, whether it's left, right, or center, kind of mapping it. So that's really cool. We got our first topic title, and it says welcome. I love it. All right, so we have everything kind of set up for our first page. Why don't we just add one more piece of text, and then we'll look at some other different features that we can play around with for publishing the site, sharing it, and all those different things. We'll see what all these buttons do, and yeah, let's go from there. So again, we're going to learn how to do this, but I'm going to click on text box, and I'm going to say, welcome to my first website. I'm going to center this, and I'm going to make this text large because that is a tiny, tiny font. Welcome to my first website. I'll press enter a couple times, and I'll make a smiley face because, again, we're all about the smiley faces on this. All right, this is not too impressive of a website, but it looks like we got some basic stuff created. So up here, this is how we can undo and redo. So if you make a mistake, for example, that smiley face shouldn't be there, I can click undo, and it resets the last step. I can click redo, and it will go forward in those steps and make sure that it still happens. This next one is the preview. This is how we can see what our website looks like. So let's click on that. All right, and boom, this is our website. Again, it's not fancy yet, but it's looking pretty nice. And down here at the bottom, we can see that we can look at different types of styles that our site can be viewed on. So for example, what would this look like on a phone? If I click that, it's going to show us what the sample phone is. All right, we have this little info button. That's pretty neat. Or what if we wanted to look at it as a tablet? We can also look at it at there. And what's interesting is our site is kind of like auto-adjusting to whatever the needs are of the screen. This is actually a really valuable thing in web design called responsive page design. The website responds to the type of device, maybe a cell phone, a tablet, or a computer, and we can get some information on what it looks like. So that's pretty neat. I'm going to exit the preview down here. And now, the last thing that I want to look at is the ability to publish. If we click on that, we're going to basically front our website and say, hey, this is good to go. Let's make it happen. So I'm going to click publish. All right. You can make your web address. So this is right now is Brian's first website. Let's call this Brian Site 1. Just so I have a little bit. Oh, that's a great address, but it's already taken. Oh, somebody took it. All right. Let's call it Brian Fadouk Site 1. I bet no one took that. There we go. So you can make this custom web address, and you can have it so other people can access it. Now, if you're running a business, you probably don't want to send them to sites.google.com, but there's a bunch of different ways to make custom URLs and things like that work. If you're looking at this from an educational account, your school's account, you're a student, you're probably not going to be able to publish your site this easily. And if you do, you might be able to only put it into a group within your district. So, your coworkers, your teachers, your fellow students, everybody like that will be able to see it. I'm doing this on my personal account because it's a little bit easier, But again, I just want you to understand what this looks like. Who can view my site? You can also choose. So this again is where a bunch of different individuals might be able to be shared with and added, and you can make it so, hey, only my fellow classmates can see it. Hey, only my 3 best friends can see it. Whatever you want to do for that. So that's pretty neat as well. All right. So our first goal, you want to get to Google Sites, and you want to make a site, and you want to do something like this. Very simple, nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. Just kind of, this is my site, it works, and then you can share your link for people as well in case you want to help people connect to your site and maybe give some feedback and see what your website is all about. So that's our first tutorial. Make sure that you're making this stuff work, and you're just building the basic level of site. When we move into tutorial video 2, we're going to look at all of this stuff on the right-hand side. We're going to do every single one of these just about, and we're going to explain what they are, how they work, and how we can add content or cool things to our site. Text boxes, images, we can embed like YouTube videos. You can even connect stuff from Google Drive. Layouts help us keep organization, and then all these different features and functions that we can literally just drag onto our site, and boom, it works. And it's really beautiful in how simple Google Sites has made this process. So I hope everybody's enjoying these tutorials. I hope you kind of enjoy the process of building it. I am going very slow to make sure that everybody of all walks of life, experiences, abilities, understandings, and even motivations can take a look at this and say, I think I know how to make a website now. All right, so stay tuned for part 2. We'll be looking at the next step there.